was raised Orthodox Judaism.
Okay. And what did that mean for you growing up?
Confusion, very confusing, because my parents are Orthodox, but my bigger family is all different areas of Judaism. So,
well, let me ask you this. Have you ever met Messianic Jews? Jews that believe in the Tanakh and the New Testament?
curious. I've heard the name, but I've not got much knowledge on that subject.
Yeah.
Would you like to tell me about it?
So I actually was pretty atheist in a lot of ways. Even though I'd gone to yeshiva and I'd studied Orthodox Judaism, I really didn't know where I landed. And as I explored, I came across the New Testament. And initially I didn't know what to think about it, but as I was reading it, I started to really find myself drawn to Yeshua, to Jesus. It was obviously strange to me as a Jewish person to think maybe this could be meaningful to me. But as I explored it and as I began to read through the text, I started to find myself really wondering whether this could be the Messiah. Doesn't mean that we stop with our Jewish, what we were brought up with. A lot of us, celebrated Jewish holidays. I continue to do that. But I've sort of added on this new component and found a whole lot of depth in it. And I don't know if you've ever read the New Testament before. You ever done that?
No.
Would you ever consider reading it?
No, I'm set in my ways.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to step out of the box of being Orthodox if you've grown up Orthodox. My view is different to yours in the sense that I believe Mashiach is going to come in a different way to not Jesus. But I also believe that Mashiach is going to come when every person is being a good person and trying their best. And I do believe in religion. I think my religion is right for me.
Yeah.
I think everyone has theirs for them.
What I would say is that human beings are fundamentally broken, and I think that that's why God was sending his Messiah, the one that the scriptures talk about, was because humans we need to be saved in the end. The idea of a savior, that God would come and save mankind, is all throughout the Bible.
Do you believe in a perfect world? Do you think after the Messiah comes there will be a perfect world?
So I do believe that there will be a restoring of what's broken in the world at some point, but I think there's a lot that needs to happen before that comes.
Kind of like when you prove yourself to someone and then they're like, oh, okay, and then they help you.
Well, that's an interesting idea.
Just curious.
I look at it like, the idea of in the scriptures of the Messiah coming as a suffering servant. I believe that the world is going to need a suffering servant, but it's also going to need a reigning king. And the idea is almost like there's almost like two ideas that are woven throughout the Tanakh. And I think if we focus on the son of Joseph, the Messiah, son of Joseph, this idea within Judaism, that idea is in the scriptures that the Messiah would be humble, he would come lowly. The idea is that the sins of the people would be put on him, ultimately. That's the picture that we see. It's like a korban in the Tanakh. Se Elohim, that's what Yeshayahu talks about. And then it also talks about peace and the world being restored. And so how did these things get reconciled? I believe that the Messiah came once in order to redeem us, to really reconcile us this way. But the Messiah is coming again, ultimately, to bring restoration and peace between mankind, governments, all of that kind of stuff. You read about Jesus in the New Testament, he didn't really overthrow the government. And I think that people wanted him to do that. In some ways, the Roman occupation and all of that, they wanted to be out from underneath that. So I think that the world is broken and God's going to restore it and make it whole again.
That's beautiful. I'm just curious, if you say you believe in Messianic Judaism? Messianic Judaism, thank you. What exactly do you do differently to Orthodox Judaism, or like where are the lines?
Yeah, for example, in the New Testament, there's this one passage where Jesus is confronted and they say to him, your disciples didn't wash their hands before they eat. And he talked about the idea of kashrut, right? Like what's going in. And Jesus' response is, it's not really what's going in you that defiles you. It's like what comes out of your mouth that defiles you. And so his emphasis wasn't on kashrut. Not that that wasn't something in Israel at that time, but his emphasis was on loving the Lord your God and loving your neighbor and treating your neighbor with love. And the idea was God ultimately wants us to treat one another with dignity and respect and honor. And I think that's what Jesus was trying to get people to really focus on and do. And so the idea for us as Messianic Jews is that we are putting others first. We don't always do it, but we try to do that. That we are trying to honor God with our lips, with the way that we treat others, all of those things. So the emphasis is a bit different, I would say.
Is your goal to convert people to your way of thinking?
My goal is to open up a dialogue and conversation and to let people have the different sides of the conversation to make their own decision. Because I feel in Jewish culture and in Jewish practice and my upbringing, I wasn't exposed to different things. And so my hope is that through conversations like these, people can consider for themselves.
I think that's beautiful. I think if you're looking for something, religiousness, because you feel like you're lacking that and you're looking for something to fill that, then
Sure.
That sounds like a great option for some people.
Yeah, my goal isn't to sort of be overly convincing and to make somebody believe what I
No,
believe.
because that wouldn't be very Jewish.
No, well, not only that, it's not really effective. It's like if God is working in somebody's heart, that's to me the most important thing. So I just ask people, hey, pray to God. Ask him to show you the truth.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, Dina, that's what I challenge you to do. Ask God to show you the truth.
Well, not to sound cliche or anything, but I think as long as we're all working towards finding ourselves individually and finding what's right for us, then that's all we need. So keep doing your thing. That's
Hey,
really
well,
cool.
Thank you so much, Dina, for stopping and for sharing a little bit of your thoughts. And
Thank you.
I hope that things go well as you're here in Israel.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I
All right.
appreciate that.
It's good to meet you.